What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. For the new viewers, my name is SlowBee. I got a banger for you today, and I want to start off by saying this is not a paid promotion. So as you see in my thumbnail, pull the trigger. This is a big surprise on a new snowmobile, and I pretty much made the decision during the Rome ride last year, and my dad let me ride his Renegade. So we're gonna go in and do all the paperwork, get all that stuff squared away, get out of here, and get the red field. So we're gonna move kind of fast today, guys.
I like that.
Tell him you'll buy it right now. So guys, which one do you think I bought? This one, or this one? This place is pretty big. I like it. Sounds good. Thank you. Be a one-man band.
All right, my friend, when you're ready, you can stop in.
Guys, I'm not bringing you into any of the financial stuff, so we'll be back. So we got the finance part of it wrapped up. We got to go do the safety check, which we'll video. And in the meantime, go and crush that like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm uploading new videos. Let me know you did all that. Let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below what one you want. This place is huge. I'm excited. We need some snow. This thing looks like a freaking nothing. You like sit on a tire or something. Yep. Yep. Probably.
We got the dually carbides on.
Okay.
Your stock ones in the back. If you want,
Oh, sweet.
you can actually, all these pilot skis are set up so if you drill these two spots, the bottom of the ski's got a groove in it where you can add these.
Okay.
So you can run an outer one so the outside edge of that ski doesn't get chewed up.
Okay.
But the dualies are on there. And then these are your stock springs that we upgraded in the back. Right here.
Okay.
And there's 5 settings on this adjuster block. So with upgrading the springs, we started on a lower setting.
Okay.
So you're on 1 right now. Now there is, if we go over to the other, I'll grab the tool. So there's a tool on the clutch cover right here. There's 2 tools. We release that one. And then that cutout will fit on that cam, and you can turn that cam.
Okay.
So you've got a right and a left, and you got numbers stamped in this block. So you can put that tool on there. Now you're 2, 3, 4.
Oh, she's crying. Yeah, that's
So,
nice. Yeah, that's a lot different than they used to be.
Yep. And then this is gonna pop. I actually like to go the other way when you, so you're not going from 5 to 1. if you want to go the other way. Now you're back to one.
All right, cool.
What these red blocks are, is that has to do with weight transfer. So again, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you go from the center point of that bolt to the outside edge, you've got fatter material or more distance from on your 4, less on your 3, less on your 2, less on your 1. So right now with 1 being back, that's the biggest gap in here.
Okay.
When you hit the throttle and that transfers back, if you watch those blocks, those start moving backwards.
Back, all right.
So if you feel like you're getting too much ski lift, real quick, and again you got a right and a left, you just push in on this red button.
What do you do with your hand?
Turn that, and that'll close that gap up so you're not transferring as much weight.
Sweet.
I set them up usually at 1 just because
That starts somewhere.
Yeah, but if it does feel like you're getting too much ski lift, you can bump that back down. Your rear shock being an XRS, all 4 shocks, you've got your piggybags, your reservoir on them, and the knob on them. So there's 22 clicks to each of these knobs. So you can kind of hear it in there.
Yep.
What that's going to do is stiffen the shock up. You got compression rating on the shock on all 4, and I'll just show you on a front shock because it's easier to see. So this is the same knob.
Same knob.
Yep, same knob. The difference is this one's got rebound on the front ones. The back ones are all built into one adjuster.
Okay.
So, but each time you click that, going clockwise is going to be compression. So it's going to basically slow the shock down, be harder to compress. If you go counterclockwise, it's going to soften the shock up. So you can play with that. I mean,
Right,
XRS you bought before all that adjusted.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
And then on these front shocks, that'll also speed up. Then that's how fast it goes in. That's how fast it comes out.
Okay.
So the front shocks both have rebound. The back 2 shocks both have 1 knob compression rebound built into them. The only other real adjustment you have is you do have a threaded spring on both front shocks and also on the shock underneath your feet.
Okay.
The biggest thing that spring has to do on a setup is if you crank that down and put more spring pressure on, you're taking that track and you're putting more track tension on the ground. So it'll make the skis feel lighter. If you loosen that shock up, it's going to take and make the skis feel heavier. So if you're having it doesn't feel like it's turning in the corners, you can try loosening off on that spring.
Okay.
The other thing that I found, I basically rode this sled for the last 3 seasons. I've actually had pretty good success with also somewhat loosening this spring up. A lot of people think that you tighten that spring down, it's going to put more ski pressure on, it's going to turn better. I think what the problem is on XRSs with these shocks is the shock's so long, if you get too much of an attack angle on those A-arms, you want those, when you go into a corner, you want those A-arms flatter. If you go too stiff on that spring, you're losing that.
Right.
And the sled's got too much geometry to it, and it doesn't want to go through the corner. So I've actually found on these to go backwards of what I've always thought in the past.
Right.
Where you lose some spring pressure.
Well, I've always had the issue. I'm gonna go back and look on the video because on my 09, I was like, I'd get off and my shoulder blades and my shoulders are killing me.
Yep.
But I don't know how to adjust them,
And,
unless you
I
take
mean,
the time to.
The big thing too is, like I said, this has got 22 clicks to it.
Right.
So even if you go around, which we try and do, and set these, like you go all the way out with them, and then you start going in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They add so even if you just start in a midpoint, and I think you'll probably, if anything, even find yourself backing down from that.
Right.
Because, so you just start going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're kind of in the midpoint right now. But again, everybody's different.
Right.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
So that's for your rear springs. They got just some miscellaneous cutouts for other bolts around it. It's like a 10 millimeter, a 13 millimeter, an 8 millimeter. and then this will fit the, if you really want, if you have to use it, that'll fit that spanner for spinning the springs. Same thing for the one under your feet. This tool, so that's got a Torx bit on it. It's got a Phillips. Slide these doors, you just push this forward, the door will pop off. Get that out of the way. Your spare belt holder's integrated right into the clutch cover. So just take that off, you just push down on those, your belt will come out of there.
Making things a little easier.
A lot easier. They finally went to some upgrades for the G4 chassis. They went to a internally threaded oil cap rather than an external. So the chance of that leaking is cut way down. And then all the E-Tech stuff's running their full synthetic injection oil that's full.
His GSX he used to ride freaking oil spouts right out the top.
Yeah. They had the rings you could put in them and help make them circular again. But if you need to change a belt or adjust a belt, you got one hairpin. Pull that out. Clutch cover will come up off of there. There's a little hook that fits into a bracket right there. On the secondary clutch, you've got a threaded hole. This tool will thread in that threaded hole. And what it's doing is it's splitting this clutch apart. You can see the tension of the belt being released, so there's no yanking and pulling and tugging and everything else. So you just run that in far enough to the point where you can pop that belt off and then work it down around your engine. Every Ski-Doo belt has directional arrows on them, and you want those pointing towards the front. They're a wound belt, Kevlar belt. They did go to a new belt for 2020 on anything 137 and longer, a little bit more durable. Any Ski-Doo belt for the last lot of years will fit this sled if you really had to. But the durometer readings and composite of that belt, they've just found better things. 2019, a big change is all these fins that are on the secondary. They didn't have that prior. They added that, and they actually added this vent on the outside that almost acts as a vacuum. And with those fins added there, there's fins on the inside of the primary engine clutch that'll actually suck air through this vent, through here, through that cover, which was all redesigned to help keep the temperature of that belt down.
Oh wow.
To prolong belt life as much as possible. The other thing you can really do to help that is as you ride, take this tool, so you put your new belt on, you take this tool out, and then you kind of just work this belt back to the top.
And as you move it, it tightens.
Yep, so there's a spring in here, and that's squeezing together. So a perfectly adjusted belt is basically where the valley of that belt is level with the aluminum of the clutch.
Okay.
So that cog's sticking up out of there. As a belt wears and it gets thinner, it's going to inherently drop down in. That's what this bolt and this cam's for. Take the other end of this tool, it's got the Torx, you crack that loose. Take this spanner wrench, just lock it on, and depending on if you're going from, say you had an old wore out belt and you put a new belt on, you need to readjust this cam. There's threads on here, and this cam will go in and out once you crack that loose.
Okay.
You basically adjust that to the point where either as the belt's wearing, every, I'd say 300 to 500 miles, take a look at that. You may just put a half a turn or something on this cam.
All right.
Once you adjust that, you want to make sure to remember to lock that bolt back down so you don't take off and that backs off and you get problems. But that's how you do the belt adjustment. There's really not much on there. There is clicker adjustments on the primary clutch. That's what this chart's kind of telling you. Going to stock clutching, stock gearing, you know, you're not messing with it. You really shouldn't have to play with that. But that should be good. But that's, if you ever hear of clickers on a primary clutch, that's what they are. This is kind of telling you there's 5 positions. Every time you go up a number in a clicker, usually raises your engine RPM, 150, 200 RPM. So if you're full throttle pegging at 7,700 RPM and you want to be at 8,000, you can adjust those. But a lot of times when you start seeing issues like that, it's more the belt's not adjusted or it needs to be adjusted or it's slipping. So that's that. And then to put this back on, you just grab drop that down in there, get that front clip locked first. Hairpin in the back. And then something that's very important when you take these tools out, you really want to make sure that these lock back down in. And you don't want to not put this, almost acts as a lock.
I was just going to say, I don't even. Oh yeah, look at
So
that.
if you run, I saw it one time, guy had his, changed the belt or something, blew a belt, and he took this tool and he just threw it in his upper box. Well, that actually acts as a locking mechanism for this tool. He bounced it on the trail, this comes out of the holder, sucks through his clutches, and did $3,000 of damage to his clutches. All because he didn't put his $2 tool in. So I try and reiterate these things when I see them. And then to put these panels back on, you got your 3 knockouts. Just line them up with there. Slide that backwards. You've got 3 locks for the door. Push them shut.
They're not rubber no more?
No rubber or dry rot. And then that's all locked on there. That Torx bit will fit these 2 bolts. Your battery's under here for the electric start.
Okay.
And as far as under the hood goes, this side's got the same 3 latches. You got your coolant. Shouldn't have to worry about it. That's where it is. This is your chain adjuster.
Okay.
And again, when you check your belt adjustment, you have to check your chain. The Torx bit on the end of that tool will also fit that bolt, and you can just kind of snug that up. You don't want to go too tight on the chain.
Let me see that again.
Right down there where that hairpin is, you and then there's a bolt on the back for doing your chain tension.
It's good to know.
Yep. So there's really nothing else under here. The muffler. There's a diagnostic port here that we plug into if you ever get a check engine light or something.
Are the old? I got the old 2005 GSX. Is the chain adjusters still like that, or are they different?
Actually, on yours, it comes in from the front side. So you got to pop your muffler out to get to it.
To get the okay.
Yeah, it does have one. It's just not on the back. The other thing they changed on the G4 Generation 4 rev over your XS, there's now on the bottom there's an access hole with a drain plug for the chain case oil.
Mm-hmm.
On yours, the only way to get the chain case oil out was to actually pull the cover to change it. They did go a couple years ago to a radio frequency key, so it's still digital. You need this is programmed to match your sled, but rather than being magnetic like they used to be, and you put it on and you fire the sled up and it beep 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 and you have to wiggle it, they went to a radio frequency key. You should never have that happen again unless you truly, yep, same thing. And it will work as a tether, so if you wear this and you fall off, it'll kill the sled. The other controls, so we got a brand new gauge for 2020, and I'll run through all that with you. So if your kill switch is on, the key's on, your orange button over here will wake the gauge up. You tap that once, everything will cycle. It'll tell you got 99 left to break in. As you run it, that'll count down. It's 2 full tanks of gas.
Okay.
Everybody's different on that. I mean, I've seen 300 miles, I've seen 450 miles. It really depends on the trail conditions, how you run the throttle. But it's basically tracking fuel flow, and it'll count down for you. During that period of time, your oil is extremely rich, so don't be scared if at 250, 300 miles your low oil light's kicking on.
Okay.
After you get through braking, that will get a lot better, but it will use oil for braking. So again, that'll wake your gauge up, and then you just hold this button, it'll start it. In reverse, if the engine's running and you come to a stop and you hit this, it's your electronic reverse, it'll start beeping. Sometimes if the engine's real cold, you try to do it too fast, it'll die. And then adjustable handlebars, 4 positions. You got all of it forward, 1 back. I found myself running in one of those 2 positions, then come back and set screw. Loosen that, kind of move that, and reset it. But it doesn't totally sweat like the force screws do. Being an XRS too, part of the XRS package is the steering post is farther forward in the chassis. So like the TNT or Renegade Adrenaline and X package, the steering post all comes back here. And again, an XRS gives you all the reinforcement as well as the wider running boards all the way back. The front glove box. I got your manual in there and an emergency starter rope. You can wrap that around your engine clutch and actually it will get you going in an emergency. Or if you pop your battery cover off, you can jump and it's a 12-volt system. There's a knockout in here if you ever wanted to add a 12-volt. They make a round or a USB. They make a liner for in here to make it soft, so if you are throwing something in there, they got an extension box to give you more space in there. Obviously, all your windshield options. They got 2-inch riser blocks for up here. Heat and visor outlet, that's what that little knockout there is for. All your LED lighting. I got headlight bulbs, upper high beams, and lower LED. And then your back is set up for your link stuff. The chassis is cut out for it. You just buy the links. You do the gas cans and bags, oil caddy. Any questions you guys want to do?
Does this come off or no?
It does, but not quickly.
Okay.
So it's all bolts.
Okay.
All right, sit on it and act like you enjoyed
Let
it.
me see that.
Sit on and act like you did something right.
Broke my pockets.
You bought a real expensive hat. Came with a snow.
That's what I just gave it to him. I said, here's your X amount dollar hat.
Yep.
There it is.
Probably doesn't even need risers.
Probably not.
I'm so short.
With the forward steering post, it does give you a little bit of rise. And I think the highest, what is there, probably would have been the highest.
Somewhat forward. Nice.
Your air intakes for the engine are these two. That's what these like power skins are. That's your air intake for the clutch. So if you are in a lot of deep snow, just keep them brushed off.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other questions other than that. I mean,
There's 2 grease fittings on the whole sled. They're in the rear suspension. On the rear, there's one on the bottom axle and one right above.
hold it. Alright guys, so there you have it. I decided to pull the trigger on a new Skidoo. Going from the Arctic Cat, I keep saying I'm coming back home. This is Matt from Ken Service and Sales.
Hey guys.
I talked to him for probably like, what, 45 minutes in the spring?
Yeah.
And just picked his brain. He pretty much a great salesman. I'll probably put your info in the I'll probably put his info in the description below. Give him a call. Like I said, this is not a paid promotion. This is me buying my new snowmobile. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. Let's hit that road to 500. Peace out. Love you guys. See you next time.
Thanks for listening, Mike. Appreciate it.
SlowBee.